I just spent the last 2 weeks adding Fortnite to a thrift shop painting. I found this old framed art print at a thrift shop and it instantly gave me Fortnite vibes, so I decided to take it home and transform it into a Fortnite painting. Over the next couple minutes, I'm going to share my entire process. I started by adding the battle bus in the sky, and if you look closely, you can see that some players are starting to drop in. My goal is to match the style and the level of detail of the previous artist so that the additions that I put into this painting appear to have always been there. Next, I added the reboot van on the cliff. I'm taking my time with every little detail because I want this painting to be epic. One of the first things I thought about when I saw this painting was ziplining across this canyon. Not only is the color palette of this painting perfect for Fortnite, but this literally looks like a location you would find in the game. I added a couple vertical ziplines shooting up and down the cliffs, and then a horizontal zipline shooting across the valley. Then I decided to add a cranberry plant next to the reboot van. Hundreds of people asked me to add the loot llama to this painting. I decided to go with the golden llama because I put the OG llama in the last couple Fortnite paintings I did. I'm using my magnifying glass to really dial in every addition. Another popular request was to add Kevin the Cube on the cliff in the background. I decided to challenge myself to paint some of the hieroglyphs on the side of Kevin. I was nervous going into this idea, but I love the way this detail came out. Next, I added the storm. My idea for this painting is that we're right at the very beginning of a match, so I painted the storm just barely creeping in over top of the mountain. One of the most popular suggestions was Tilted Towers, so I decided to create my own little version of Tilted at the top of this cliff. Then up above Tilted, I added a weather station in the mountain. I'm painting these details a little out of focus and less saturated since they're so far off in the distance. A supply drop is about to land next to Kevin the Cube, and this is the perfect type of location for a launch pad. This was another popular request in the comments. Then next to the reboot van, I decided to add an NPC Pewley roasting a marshmallow over a campfire. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of the painting. Next, I added a legendary chest on the ledge of the cliff. I almost forgot the blue smoke under the supply drop, and this is definitely the kind of spot that you would porta potty to. A lot of people were asking me to add the gold scar to this painting. I think this might be one of the most popular guns in the game. On the edge of the cliff, I added a no dancing sign. Then as a final touch, I decided to add the butterfly rift. There were so many amazing suggestions that I couldn't fit into this painting, but I really love how this piece came out, and I hope it makes the fans proud. Me and my family love Fortnite, and it's honestly one of the few things that keeps us all connected. This game will always have a special place in my heart. This painting was a blast. I've titled this painting The Calm Before the Storm. Here's a before and after. This original painting and prints are now available on Pockaway.com. It's okay if you can't afford a print. Likes and shares are just as valuable.